Wow. Thank you, Uncle Ibrahim. I remember watching Nigeria. So when we get to the questions, we are going to ask what happened. How are you from being a science student to being an author? And to Rebecca, over to you. Two fun facts about you. Oh, really? Ah. Oh. Fantastic. Wow. Look, our speakers are really interesting people. People who are music that looks like music is in the house and all of that. Thank you very much, Auntie Rebecca and Uncle Ibrahim. And we don't want to start asking what when we get the question around. You are going to tell us how you move from science, how you navigate your science background and combine it with what you are doing at the moment. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight. A lot of us are very curious to know. Okay, so this thing that we have this challenge we have went for, what criteria did you use? People have sent all kinds of questions via emails, via WhatsApp, and I just want to show this out to you as the first question. Having judged this maiden edition of the Real Young Writers Challenge, what is your general feedback on the entries you read? And also, what were the key features you looked out for when you were judging? This is for both Auntie Rebecca and Uncle Ibrahim. So, anyone, you can go first. Having judged what was the general feedback of the entries you judged? And what were the key features you looked out for when you were judging the entries? Mm, mm, yeah, yeah. Mm, mm. But I mean, you've judged the entries now, and I want to believe that you found some that were satisfactory. All right. Thank you, Auntie Rebecca. Uncle Ibrahim. Hello, Fumi, what's your ID? Which which ID are you trying to use to enter? Let me add your Zoom ID so I can add you to the meeting. Fumi Lori, I can't see you. I'm checking the participant room. Please come in. Thank you. Please don't let the cat out of the bag. Hello. Okay. Thank sorry, in between I'm using a device and phone calls are coming in for some people who were not able to join us early, so I'm trying to do 10 things at the same time, so please pardon me. Okay, so I want to ask, thank you for that. I think I read for some of you, for all of you that are in the meeting room, just so you know, we received over 350 applications, and I read all 350 before we screened up to the numbers that we sent to the judges. And I agree completely with all what our judges have said. There were some applications that were outstanding. There were some that was just giving us information about what COVID-19 is about. But overall, it just shows that I think one of the first thing that came to mind is it's important that we understand a question thoroughly before we go into answering it. And there's nothing wrong with asking an adult to guide us to explaining what it is that the challenge is looking out for. That's just general feedback for other competitions that we hope to get involved in. So I'm going to ask you directly, Auntie Rebecca. So the question for this year involved story writing. Even though we received a lot of essays, can you please explain to us? And I know that you are a champion and expert in storytelling. Can you please explain to us what are okay, let me repeat, please. So I was saying that our challenge for this year involves story writing. Though we received, can you hear me now? Okay, fantastic. But we received a lot of essays. So we want to know the difference between a story and an essay. Can you please tell us the basic structures of a story? I mean, everything and the key features of a story. Because I mean, from your own expertise. Okay, so
anything you want to call it, but there must be that thing that is happening, and there must be a resolution of whatever it is that happened. All right. So again, there's nothing bad as your character just keeps.
Hello. 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 Hmm. Okay. Can you hear me, Uncle Ibrahim? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad you were able to help us shed more light on the similarities and differences between essays and stories, so that all the participants who submitted essay have learned something. So I want to ask you personally, Uncle Ibrahim. We know you write. We've read your profile. If you could tell your younger self about creative writing, what would it be? What would you tell your younger self if you could go back to when you were still a child or you were a teenager? What would you tell yourself about creative writing? Sorry, you said like a personal question. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Thank you very much, Uncle Ibrahim. Thank Auntie Rebecca. Oh. Wow. Thank you very, very, very for that expose, Uncle Ibrahim and Auntie Rebecca. I mean, I have a question, but you have answered it. And the question was going to be, what would be the advice to children here who already have an interest in writing, but who also, because there are some children who are in science class, like both of you were in science class, and they already know how to write. Some of them read all kinds of books. Some of them read on the road safe. But but they want to become doctors, they want to become lawyers, some of them want to become musicians, and they still have this interest in writing. How do they balance all these skills together? But I like what Auntie Rebecca has said, and if you want to you still have something more to add to it, you may add to it. The fact about reading and writing, journaling. I mean, that's so. If I had received that kind of advice as a young girl, it would have helped me. Writing everything in a journal and just keeping that record. I think that's very valuable. That's very valuable advice for all of us. Even as an adult, I'm learning to also journal, write down experiences, write down things that come into my head. I'm also a Christian, and so when I receive some inspiration during prayer, I also write those things down. But I don't know if you have anything to share. If you want to shed more light on children who have multiple skills, they can write, but they want to become doctors, lawyers, and all kinds of things. And their parents are probably worried, saying, "You, this boy that is always writing every day, is this how you are going to prepare to become a doctor?" How do they balance all these skills together? Mm. Thank you. Mm. Thank you very much, Uncle Ibrahim. I want to, some of the participants have dropped questions, so I'm going to read two out of those questions. I'll allow you to attend to those questions. We'll go back. I will just keep alternating. So that's the first question here is how can I make a good story that will be captivating to all readers? That's the question from a participant. How can I make my story very good that it's captivating to all readers? Auntie Rebecca, can you help us with that? And then the second one, yes, the second one to Uncle Ibrahim. I want to be I want to be a good writer. How can I develop my writing and how can I develop my creative writing abilities? I think you've answered that with all what we have said. Then let me take this third one. Yeah. Let me take this third one. Please, this question goes out to our two judges. Please, ma and sir, what was your greatest desire when you were young? Okay, so let's take these three. We'll come back to the others. Yes. Oh, fantastic. Yes. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we're talking about immediately after this. Wow. Thank you so much for that, Auntie Rebecca. That was so much that you packed into a little time. I remember the first class pass is what I remember, and I was clapping for you. And amongst many other things, you were artist for the bench. How did you do all those things that you were still able to make your first class? But I think one of the things that that struck me the most about what you said is the fact that, especially as because we have a lot of young children as participants in the house, is we this is the time of us to explore all the opportunities that we can within our capacity. There's no point trying to limit ourselves. I mean, for most of us, I also was a science student. People ask me these days, "Are you into education, non-profit? Did you study education?" I said, "No, I did microbiology." And I laugh back and say, as a child, I should have just, all the our parents, it doesn't matter whether we don't live in Lagos. There are opportunities, even this COVID-19 period. You can learn agriculture if it's something you're interested in. It doesn't stop your schoolwork. If you want to play football, you can play football and also read. If you're whether you're a science, it doesn't matter. All those things, as we grow older, you find out that they are just tags and labels. It doesn't define. There are medical doctors who are even big today. So, I mean, I thank you so much for that. And we really appreciate it. The only you touched on, and that's our next question. What are the opportunities that are available or that exist in creative writing slash storytelling? I'm looking, if you look at some of the charts that the children are putting up, you see there are a lot of them saying they want to do this, they want to be a writer and all the rest of their mind. So I think it would be helpful to understand what are the kind of opportunities that exist in creative writing. Is it just to write and publish? And you can just shed more. And there's a question that is related to that Uncle Ibrahim can also feed in. Somebody is asking that she's written a lot of stories that has not been published. She hasn't seen children's books published. So she's curious to know what the procedure is. So I mean, so that's I've thrown the I've handed the baton over to Auntie Rebecca and Uncle Ibrahim. Please help us with those questions. Thank you. Yes, just give a long one. Uncle Ibrahim. Okay, so you China B? Yes. Mm. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Uncle Ibrahim. Uh, Before we go to Auntie Rebecca, I mean, you did mention that for children, it's usually the access to information. So I want to ask as a follow-up to all you have just said that for children who want to pursue, for people here who want to pursue publishing or want to put up their essays and journals and all those you've mentioned, where do they go to? Is there a website they can, when they Google, what do they search for? Or is there are there phone numbers they can call? Are there organizations in Nigeria they can write to? I think that would be helpful for us too. I'm finding it difficult to hear you. I don't know if it's the network from my own end. Okay. Oh, okay. Ibrahim, Uncle Ibrahim, please can you help us with your connection? It's a bit difficult to hear you. Or maybe you can put it in the chat so that we just go to Auntie Rebecca. And some of the participants have complained too. We didn't hear your response. Can you help us type it? Thank you, Uncle Ibrahim. Wow. Thank you. Yes. The interesting advert can never end. Keep looking for the sequel. mm, mm, mm. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, Auntie Rebecca. Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot. I wanted to ask that all these things that you have given us, can we have it in writing? But we are recording, so we'll do a transcript of the recording and share it with all the participants again. I've really learned a lot. We have just 10 minutes left. I want to address some of the questions on the change entries. A couple of people are asking if they were penalized because they wrote an essay, and the answer is no. There are different kinds of essays, like Ibrahim said at the beginning when we started. There's narrative essay. It also involves your imagination. You were scored based on your imagination and creativity. Whether you wrote about yourself or you wrote about a third party. If you remember, if you were with us at the beginning of the session, when Auntie Rebecca and Uncle Ibrahim were talking about a particular a particular entry that always got them crying. I remember that entry too, and it was very personal. It wasn't a story about another person. The person wrote a narrative essay explaining and then brought out a point. That's the creativity and imagination that we wanted, that we're trying to celebrate in children. So it doesn't matter if you wrote an essay, or if you wrote in form of an essay, or you wrote an outright story. What we are looking for, the important elements that we were looking for was character, the content. How were you able to creatively infuse COVID-19 into your entry, and how did everything come together to make it interesting and engaging? Do you understand? That's really what we were looking out for. For a lot of you that wrote, and it's not well. I haven't read most of those essays. I smiled and said, "Ah, that's how they taught us to write essays when we were in secondary school." And I saw that a lot, and I couldn't help but chuckle at it. And really, that's really no fault of yours. For some people who stood out, I mean, there are 354 entries that came. Some would have to screen down to top 10. That's what happened with this thing. It's a competition. As much as we would like to award everybody, applaud everybody, which we are trying to do through this Zoom session, the truth is that eventually it is still some people that will still stand out as top 10. And that's what has happened. It doesn't mean that the rest of you are not good. It just means that you need to improve on what it is that you are doing right now, and there are different opportunities for different people. And thank you to Auntie Rebecca for helping us shed light on. We have just this challenge has only picked one aspect of creative writing. There's still so many aspects that we didn't, we didn't ask for illustrators. There are people who are fantastic. They can tell stories through fantastic drawing. I can't even draw to save my life. So so I wouldn't even try to do a challenge in that regard, because I may not be able to judge appropriately. So that you are not being recognized as top 10 in this challenge this year does not mean you do not have the skills. It just means that you were not you didn't your entry did not fall into the top 10 based on all the features that we were looking out for. I hope that has addressed. I've seen a lot of questions about the entries and all of that. And for people who are asking about the results, we have collected everything. By Monday, we're sending out emails and WhatsApp messages to everybody to know your fate. The top 10 will be invited. It's also important to mention that even though that was not part of the original categorization, when we read some of those, and we had to group you. You know, 7 to 13-year-olds, we had to do a grouping, which was not part of what we originally planned for. 7 to 9 were grouped differently, then 10 to 13 were grouped differently, so that we could judge those entries separately. That was what we did. So we had to put it in two different categories. And you'll be getting, we'll be reaching out to everybody on Monday so that you know what your fate is. Like I said, and I'll let the judges have the last word on that. Like I said, I want to really reiterate that and emphasize that if you do not get to be one of the top 10, either in the 7 to 9 category or in the 10 to 13 category, doesn't mean that you have failed. It doesn't mean that you are not good. It just means that your entry did not qualify for the things, the characteristics that we were looking out for this year. And you are not, if you are still 12 and below, you still have another opportunity next year to apply. Uncle Ibrahim has pasted in the chat room that you can quickly write down when this meeting is over for you to explore other opportunities. So we have 5 minutes. I want to give them to our judges. Uncle Ibrahim, we'll start with you. What are your parting words? What advice do you have for those who did not make it to the final 10? And what are parting words for the participants present at this session? You just 2 minutes so that I want us to wrap by 1:30 so that Zoom does not push out. After you're muted, let me do that. Thank you. Maybe it is next to her. But I noticed he just sent a message. He just posted a message for us on the chat. So let me just quickly look at. Let me see what in with Brian. You try to join. So, but Auntie Rebecca, so wait, can you? Let me see. Yes. What are your parting words? And what advice do you have for? Oh, yes. So, Wale Soyinka Chinua Achebe. What's this? The popular Chimamanda Adichie. Yes. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, Uncle Ibrahim has dropped off, and I can't see him. I can't see him in the waiting room to allow him in again. He probably had network issues. But with that, I do hope that we've had, I mean, some of the, I hope we've had a fantastic time. We have to go now because we meeting is supposed to be at 1:30. And I've learned a lot. The good thing is we've done a recording of this session and we'll send a transcript to everybody. I think I want to just, in a couple of minutes, just unmute the participants so that I'm sure what they want to say was this in their house. Let's unmute everybody so that we can talk before, since we still have 2 minutes. We can say one or two things before we leave. Thank you all. Sorry, some of our participants could not join in because the meeting room capacity had just 100. So some people keep coming in and dropping off, and we are so sorry about that. Unfortunately, this is all we could accommodate. Let me go to the meeting settings and unmute us and just hear our voices before we go. Okay. People are already unmuting themselves. Okay. Hello. I said on Monday you will hear from us. By Monday, you will hear from us by Monday. Okay. Can we say thank you to Auntie Rebecca, Uncle Ibrahim before we leave? All right. I hope you've all learned something important. All right. Bye. It's 1:30. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. I'm going to end the meeting now. Take care. Thank you. You know the WhatsApp group. No. Oh, bye-bye, everybody.